Chaldeans. Thank you, Lord, for your word. And today we're going to be talking about, and the subject is today is going to be the image of gold and the blazing furnace. And you can look that up in chapter 3. And you guys don't have to read the whole verse, but I'm going to tell a story. And the story is about, there was this king, Nebuchadnezzar. He made an image made out of gold, and they had to worship it. The image of gold was 60 cubits high and 6 cubits wide. It was set up on the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. And King Nebuchadnezzar summoned everybody, governors, judges, and all of other provincial officials to come and worship the image of gold. The king said, "Whoever doesn't fall down and worship the image of gold will be thrown into a blazing furnace." And when the people hear the horn, flute, and other types of music, they had to fall down and worship it. And as they heard the horn, flute, and other type of music, they fell down and worshipped. But there was 3 young men who didn't fall down and worship, because they worshipped a god and an image, and not an image. King Nebuchadnezzar demanded somebody to heat up the furnace 7 times more. And King Nebuchadnezzar said then, "What God will be able to rescue you from my hand?" The king told his strongest soldiers to tie the young men up, and the furnace was so hot that the flame of the fire killed the soldiers who took up the 3 young men. And the 3 young men, firmly tied, fell into the blazing furnace. As they were in the blazing furnace, one said, "Look, I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbounded and unharmed. And the 4th looks like a son of the gods." Nebuchadnezzar then approached the opening of the blazing furnace and shouted the 3 young men to come out and come here. As they were out, people surrounded them and didn't see any damages on them, and no smell of fire on them. Nebuchadnezzar said, "Praise be to the God of these 3 young men, who has sent angels and rescued his servants." They trusted in him. The kings commanded and were willing to give up their lives rather to serve or worship any god except their own. Therefore, I decree the people of any nation or language who say anything against the God of these 3 young men be cut into pieces, and their houses be turned into piles of rubble. For no other God can save in this way. Then the king promoted these 3 young men in the province of Babylon. So the message of this story is to be faithful, because these young men were faithful to Jesus, to God. And as we all know, that we don't worship an image or a statue. We worship a God that died in the cross for us.
Amen.
And he died for love for us. And he's alive. He's not dead. And this is my part, and I give the microphone back to my pastor.